Good evening. Today is April the 7th, 2021, and it's time for our midweek Bible study here at Travis Baptist Church. Thanks for joining us. We are located at 5802 Weber Road, just off the corner of Weber and Hawley here in Corpus Christi, and across the street from the HEB. So, it is the week after Easter. Easter Sunday was great. We saw a lot of you that we hadn't seen in a while, and we hope a lot of you were able to watch us online. But everything went well for the weekend, and we are grateful. So much better than last year when Easter was 100% online, and we didn't get to see each other, and we didn't have egg hunts, and we didn't get to do much of anything. We did do our Good Friday movie on Friday night. We did our egg hunt for the kids over at Marbella Apartments, and then the one at church on Sunday after the service for our kids that came. So it was a good weekend. And we are praying for rain now in Corpus Christi. It's enough of these beautiful dry weather days. It's about time we got some water in the ground. Please be praying for that. Here at Travis Baptist Church, we are getting ready. You know, our next big events, of course, are in the summer, and that's going to be Vacation Bible School and the First Blessing Shoe Ministry. Both of those, Vacation Bible School is going to be July 19 to 23. Kids kindergarten through 6th grade. And we are going to be, well, we've already got registration open, frankly, on our website, travisbaptist.org. And just click around. I think it's under the announcements menu that we have Vacation Bible School registration right there online. First Blessing is a ministry whereby we are able to provide a child with a pair of shoes. On August the 14th. If your child registers, you may come that day. We'll send you a time for an appointment. That's a Saturday. They will arrive. They will get their feet washed. They will get to a new pair of socks. They will get to quote-unquote shop. They get to pick out a pair of shoes. And we don't just give them a pair. They get to pick out the one they like. So, we did this last year for the first time, a huge success. We're only going to take the first 150 kids, and so please, if you want to sign up for that, do it pretty soon, even though, you know, and set that Saturday aside. It's going to be August the 14th. Well, I can't make it that day. Sorry. That's all we can do, okay? And so please take a look at that. This week, Thursday, the 8th, we will be having Awana at 6:15 p.m. and we will having our prayer meeting at 6:30 p.m. This coming Thursday. That's tomorrow. So please come and join us for that. And that's kind of all the announcements for right now. Oh, there's a Vacation Bible School. We're going to have a work day on the Saturday the 17th. And on that day, going to start getting classrooms ready, kind of getting an evaluation of what we need to do. If you kind of would like to help, but kind of would like to do more than just kind of stand around and carry heavy things, man, if you got some yard equipment, a couple chainsaws, that kind of thing, there's a whole lot of our shrubbery that kind of needs to come down because it got killed back in February. And we've been kind of waiting to see who was going to come back, and now we know who's not. So, if you'd like to come help us cut some things down, better yet, if you'd like to help haul it to the landfill for the mulch area, it won't cost you anything out there. So if you would like to come and help us, that'll be here at 8 o'clock on the 17th. Okay, and let's get into the Bible study. Okay. We have been studying a few weeks, well, a few months on the idea of the afterlife. We are in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. We'll be doing verses 44 through 49. And verses 45 through 49, actually, in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Let's pray and let's get started. We praise you, Lord, for all that you do for us. We thank you for the blessings you send our way, the way you speak to us, the way you hold us up through all the hard in the difficult times we're going through. We praise you that there's progress on more and more freedom. I noticed Sunday a lot of people kept their masks off for a long time, and that was great in church on Sunday. We are grateful for the way you helped us to minister to the community over at Marbella. We hope that you'll give us more opportunities of doing that. We are praying, God, for opportunities to serve you, opportunities to get out into our community and let them know that Jesus loves them. We are hoping, Lord, as we study your word today, that the hope we have in you will keep driving us through no matter how dark times get. You have given promises. We will live forever with you. To be absent from the body is to be present with you. So, Lord, we pray all these things in the name of Christ. Amen. All right. We are in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. We're going to be getting in verse 45. Now, we have been talking 1 Corinthians 15. It's a big chapter. It's got a lot of stuff on resurrection. And it started out telling us that, the resurrection is a central fact of the gospel. As we mentioned on Sunday's message and every Easter, without the resurrection of Jesus Christ, this whole thing called Christianity falls apart. It's not enough that we've got 10 good commandments to follow. It's not enough to love your neighbor as yourself. We need Jesus crucified and risen. All right? If he stays in that grave, if he's just another martyr who died, we got no hope. But with his resurrection, we do. And so then he goes into, the benefits of having a resurrected Savior and how hopeless it is without him. And then he starts talking about this body we're going to have. Next week and the following weeks, we'll get into a little more, but resurrection is about the new body. Again, we will get into this more later, but let's understand this. First off, the Bible's pretty clear. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, I think it's verse 5. So when you die, you go to be with the Lord. When Jesus was dying upon that cross, one of the thieves crucified next to him said, "Lord, remember me when you come into your throne." Jesus said to him, "Today, before this day is over, you'll be with me in paradise." So we know that when we die, we go to be with Jesus. We don't get that resurrected body right then. From what we gather in Revelation, yes, we are recognizable. We know each other. We can tell where people have been. We're cognizant. All of those things. But it's not until what we call the rapture, the second coming, that then Christ raises everyone up and these spirits of ours that have died are united with this immortal resurrected body. Okay? We'll get into that more as we'll see starting next week. But the point we want to make right now is resurrection is about that new body. And yes, your grandmother who died a few years back and the saints who died centuries ago are with the Lord. They are not in a purgatory. They're not in an intermediary place. You might call it an intermediary state, in that they don't have this resurrected body yet that is being spoken of in 1 Corinthians 15. But we get into kind of how this comes about now. Verse 45. Well, let me back up. And so in the last 2 weeks, what we were talking about was that this resurrected body is so different than what we've got right now. Last week I compared it to, I kept a car for about 14, 15 years. And when we replaced that car, man, the bells and whistles on the new car made me think, wow, cars can do this now. Like have a backing camera. And, that whole Bluetooth thing where you can listen to streaming music instead of be bound up to CDs and FM radio. So, and then all the safety things, like the car can sense cars around it and automatically slow down and that kind of thing. All amazing things. That car is not like the one I had a few years ago. Our resurrected body is such an improvement that, like he says in the earlier verses, there's one glory of heaven, there's one glory of earth. They're both glorious, but boy, they're different. And by heavens, he meant the skies, the stars, the moons, the planets. There's one glory that, like the beautiful gazelle out in the wild, the beautiful mountains, the beauty of a whale in the water, the beauty of dolphins doing flips. Glorious things, both of them, but different. And that doesn't mean one is better or worse than the other. But he is saying here, there is definitely a better body coming from us. It's going to be so different from the one we've got right now. Verse 45. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, became a living being. The last Adam became a life-giving spirit. However, the spiritual is not first, but the natural, and afterward the spiritual. Okay. When we go back to the very beginning of Genesis, God created man out of the dust of the earth, Adam. Here it says that the first man, Adam, became a living being. And the Bible says God breathed into him, and man became a living soul, a living being. He was now alive. We all are aware that if you took all the water out of our physical body, we'd be left with a pile of dust and chemicals. And that's one thing we often say, you stick a body in a casket, you let it deteriorate, and all you've got is dust. That's where we get that phrase, we are but dust. And so, but this body is not all we've got, even though living in this body is all we can fathom, because it's all we've ever had. The first Adam was a physical body. The last Adam, who is the last Adam? Well, if we read the books of 1 Corinthians and the book of Romans, and we will come across a phrase talking about how the first man was conceived in sin, and the last man, the second Adam, is Jesus Christ. The second Adam, the first man, was made of dust. The last Adam, instead of breathing him the breath of life, it says he is the life-giving spirit. This is important. When we start thinking about bodies, we think, Jesus died upon that cross, and then he was dead. But he rose from the grave. And his body that we saw, or that the disciples saw, still had the nail wounds in it. In fact, when we get to heaven, he will appear to us, and one of the appearances is, as the Lamb that was slain. In Revelation 1, he appears like the Ancient of Days, the wise old man who is very healthy, very strong, very powerful. And then later on we see he looks like a lamb that had been slain. But a lamb not that was dragging around nearly dead, but the lamb who'd been slain that got back up and whooped everybody. This is the people ran and hid from this lamb that was slain, praying that the rocks would fall on them. His body appears as it needs to for us to understand his message. He was raised, or as Jesus comes, he is a life-giving spirit. In John chapter 5, Jesus talks about being obedient to the Father. And then he talks about how God has committed all judgment to him. God is my judge. No, Jesus is going to be your judge. God the Son is going to be your judge. And then the Son has, and it's almost a hyphenated phrase the way we should say it, the Son has life in himself. That this ability to give life to a dead thing, this ability to renew your life and mine, that authority is given to Jesus. And he is a life-giving spirit. He is able to give life. He is able to take that which is dead and make it alive. Not bring it out of a coma, but to bring us up in a way that makes us eternal, that raises us to be so much more than we are right now. He is a life-giving spirit. Verse 46, but the spiritual is not first, but the natural, and afterward the spiritual. All right, natural body. This one gets old, has scars, it bleeds, it gets sore joints, it is frail, it is contaminated with sin, it dies. That comes first. And then the spiritual one. Because this is really what's so glorious, and a spiritual body that is so different than anything we've got right now. Again, my grandmother, my parents who have gone on before us, the Apostle John who has gone on before us, everybody who has ever died as a believer, a Christian, an Old Testament believer, they are with Jesus. Remember what we said, absent from the body, present with the Lord. But this has not occurred to them, this uniting of the ultimate spiritual body with them. But Jesus gives that And it comes after the natural body. The natural body is going to go away. Verse 47, the first man was of the earth. He was made of dust. The second man, the second Adam, is the Lord from heaven. And he's equating him with Jehovah. He's equating him with God. Here's the deal. Jesus, the second man, is from heaven. Jesus, yes, born of the Virgin, but the life in him, the Spirit in him, was God the Son, who existed from eternity past, who was there at creation. He came in and inhabited the body that Mary was impregnated with. He, the only begotten Son of God. He is from heaven. Jesus often had this discussion, and the Pharisees would get on him, who do you think you are? And this whole idea of him coming from heaven. Now, all our babies are a gift from God, yes. But in a special way, God sent His only begotten Son, Jesus, who, as it says in John chapter 1, is everything that God is. The Word, the eternal Word of God, took on flesh, came from heaven, walked among us, died, and rose from the grave. Rose from the grave, not with a spirit, but with body. Okay? And so, He's from heaven, verse 48. As was the man of dust, so also are those who are made of dust. All right, you and me. We are the children of Adam and Eve, basically. The first two people, and all that genetic makeup we got just basically takes all the way back, goes to them. Their genetic makeup includes the inheritance of sin and disobedience that we have in us. We are sinners because sin dwells in us. We have inherited a sin nature. We can't help ourselves. That does not mean we're not responsible for our actions before God, but it does mean we need to be aware, and that sinfulness ought to make us aware that we need a Savior, because that sin keeps us separated. Jesus Christ, the second Adam, comes. He is of the Spirit. Verse 48, as was the man of dust, so also are those who are made of dust. We are like Adam. We will choose the wrong thing every time. But the second man is the Lord from heaven. As is the heavenly man, so also are those who are heavenly. This heavenly man now has defeated sin. This heavenly man is not dominated by sin. Sin does not dwell in him. And so here is our hope and our promise now that we have in resurrection and in salvation is, verse 49, as we have borne the image of the man of dust, we also shall bear the image of the heavenly man. Again, this section of 1 Corinthians 15 is contrasting this. If I was a car, I'd be now you're going to know how old I am, so get your math calculators ready. I'm a 1962 model. That's when I was made, all right? And it's older. It's lost most of its hair on the top of its head. It's growing everywhere else but the top of my head. I don't know why we don't go bald in the face, but we just go bald on the head. The joints hurt. The back hurts. The physical capacity gets lower and lower as the years go by. We try to exercise, but let's face it, we hit our peak long ago and it's deteriorating. That is how we are like Adam. And I believe it's in Romans, as in Adam, all of us die. We are doomed to death. We are doomed to deterioration. We are doomed to being decaying and all of that. But Jesus Christ comes in, rises from the grave. Those who put their trust in Him, those who believe in Him as their Savior, we become the children of God. And with that comes the promise that now that we're His, we do not know yet what we shall be like, but we do know when He comes back, we shall be like Him. Woo! Okay? Jesus As we said in Revelation chapter 1, he's pictured as this victorious Ancient of Days, this powerful, wise Savior. He's also seen in Revelation in chapter 4 as the Lamb that was slain. You can see the battle scars. You can see the toll that was paid for us. And then it says, we do not know how we shall be, but we know when he appears, we shall be like him. We have been like dust up till now. We have been like the old Adam. Now the new Adam, Jesus Christ. On the day he resurrects us, we're going to have this new body that is like his. No more sickness, no more sorrow, no more pain, all of that. No disease can affect us. It does not deteriorate. How old will we be? I don't know. I don't think that'll be an issue. I think we'll look better than we do now. But all those things, what the points he is making is, there's an earthly glory and there's a heavenly glory. You are a wonderful creation of God. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. God loves you. He gave his Son for you. Jesus died for you. And though you may look in the mirror and think not much about what you're seeing there, he loves you dearly. And one day, this body dissolves away. But we have this promise, this sure thing, that we got another one coming. It's not like Dave 2.0. It is, in fact, okay. If you're my age, and maybe you've gone to a school reunion, or maybe like you've gone back to a place you used to live, and you saw the little punk kids who are like this tall, and you're going, man, I always remember them as a little kid. And, okay, here's a good example. On Facebook, I pastored a church. Let's pick one. Evergreen Park in West Monroe, Louisiana. All right? And there were kids there, 6, 7 years old. Heather and her sister, brother Thomas, and Tiffany, that bunch. And there was Renee and Lisa, and there were several kids there at Evergreen Park. All right. I see them on Facebook now, and I remember, Renee and Lisa were early teenage years, and Heather and Tiffany and Thomas were like, knee high. And Lord howdy, they're all in their 40s. Okay? That's the point there. They're all in their 40s. I may have just ticked off a couple of them, but I left that church in 1991, right? So it's got to be, that's 30 years. So anybody who was 10 when I left is in their 40s. The rest of them are in their late 30s, mid-30s, okay? Yeah, that's a different body. I mean, that's kind of the difference. There's the glory of a child, now the approaching mature adulthood, Jessica, I forgot Jessica. Jessica was at Evergreen Park also, and she's probably pushing 29 anyway. Okay, and what I'm saying is, there's that huge difference when you haven't seen him for years. Jesus is telling us, the Lord is telling us here, this new body, man, it is nothing like what you've imagined. The change that comes over someone between the ages of 9 and 35. The change that comes over somebody between the ages of 21 and 50. I have people who think that my high school senior picture looks more like my daughter than it does me, because it's got closer to her amount of hair than it does mine. But this is what happens as we get older. But being like Jesus is such a way that we know it's going to happen, but we just don't know exactly. But we're going to bear the image of the heavenly man. We're going to be like Jesus in a way we've never dreamed possible. This is our future. And so, as you look at all the mess that's happening, we had a death last Friday in our church, Miss Shirley Whitley. Her funeral is going to be on the 16th of April. She was down under 70 pounds. Frail, petite, fragile. I mean, it looked like, you look like you'd snap her like a stick. I'm not saying, but you've seen, they've deteriorated. This body deteriorates like that. to see her robust, to see and know that there will not be limitations. We lost a young man last summer named Peter. He had battled multiple muscular dystrophy for his life. And goodness, to see the changes in him, and then to know that when Jesus gives him that new body, oh my goodness, guy's going to be Earl Campbell or something, you know. This change is that drastic, unimaginable for us, and yet so wonderful to look forward to. No matter how bad life gets, you don't spend it all here. You spend it with Him. That guy died next to Jesus, that thief. There was another one too. He cursed Jesus to the end. That guy's burning in hell. But the other one, Jesus said, today, before the sun sets today, you will be with me in paradise. Wow. What a promise that undoubtedly is true. Take heart, believer. This is your future. Yes, you're getting old, but one day the Lord raises us up. Just wait till next week. We're really going to get into this good. Be in prayer. Be studying these verses. As you struggle and as you do battle, remember, the Lord is with you every step. Let's continue to pray for one another. Pray for our church. Pray for our cities. Pray for our nation. And let's pray that Jesus is glorified in us every day. All right? Let's bow our heads. You are God, Lord. You are God alone. And only you could give new life to this decaying, wretched body of mine. Only you could give hope to those who have lost hope. Only you can make things new that are definitely old. But then you tell us that if anyone is in Jesus, old things are passed away. All things are made new. We're a new creation in you. We are not who we used to be. Lord, there may be someone listening today who that's them right now. They don't want to be who they are anymore. They need change. And that's what you do. Reach down and open up their eyes, open up their hearts to their need for you, that they might call upon you as Savior. That you would reach down to them, Lord. Bless them. Hold them tight. And we ask all these things in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. At Travis Baptist Church, we have services every Sunday morning. You may come here. In crowded areas, we ask you to wear a mask when you're 6 feet away or better. Yeah, you can take it off. We are going to be having Sunday school 9:30 every morning. Every Sunday morning, we have worship at 10:45 every Sunday morning. Tomorrow night, Thursday, we also have Awana for kids kindergarten through high school, basically. And starts at 6:15. You can come and join us. And we have a prayer meeting also on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Come and join us for that. All right. May God bless you this week. Seek His face. And no matter how much struggle it is, remember, you've got a hope in Jesus. Amen.